The following is a presentation of the Hello Chicago Network. Hello Chicago Network is on the air. Hello everybody, I'm Ryan Yanishadis, and it's time to focus, and we're focusing again from the Cubs corner as we are all week, and we're going to talk now about the Blackhawks and the Bulls. Let's first talk about the Blackhawks. Let's go to the results of the last week or so. Let's go all the way back to the 28th of March. They lose to the Golden Knights of a final of 5-3. Sunday the 30th, they lose to Utah 5-2. On third, then they had a little bit of a time off to April 2nd, where they lose to the Avalanche in a shootout, so they do get a point. Till they lose to the Avalanche 3-2. Then they lose to a really good Capitals team, and Alexander Ovechkin looking to break the record for the most goals scored. And they lose 5-3. Then, of course, there you see Sunday the 6th against the Penguins, and then Tuesday the 8th at the Penguins as the recent games. Then, of course, let's shift gears to the remaining games. Obviously, they're not in the playoff contention. They're not going to be a playoff team. So let's just recap or preview what they got on the 10th. They got at the Boston against the Bruins, home against the Jets on April 12th. Monday the 14th at Montreal against the Canadiens, and Tuesday the 15th at Ottawa. So that is the updated schedule results and schedule for the Chicago Blackhawks in a year which we were hoping for more, hoping for this team to at least make a playoff push. They looked a little exciting once they got Spencer Knight, but really ever since then it has just been quiet for this team. They haven't played well, and now they're just trying to ride out the season, and hopefully this offseason and next year they take the next step to be around a 500 team at that. Next week we'll have our final focus on the Chicago Blackhawks, the sole by itself one, as next week each episode I'm going to be giving you my take on where the team stands right now. Chicago Blackhawks will be one of those teams, and that'll be our final focus on the Blackhawks in 2020 for the 24-25 season. So now the Blackhawks are done. Now it's time to focus on the Chicago Bulls. And now it's time to focus on the Chicago Bulls. Let's take a look now and recap their most recent games. As you can see, they had a dominant game by the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're the number one team in the West. They lose on the 31st, 145-117. Tuesday the 1st, they take care of the Toronto Raptors, 137-118. Big game by them, and that also clinched a playoff spot, which means they are going to play they are going to for sure play in the play-in tournament, and that is where we are with them. And then on Friday the 4th, they're home against the Blazers. They win 118-113. Then you see the Sunday the 6th at the Hornets, a game against the Cavs on the 8th. And then Wednesday the 9th against the Heat. The Cavs game is going to be another one of those tough ones. The one at the against the Heat, that's one that's basically going to decide whether they're going to host or they're going to be on the road for that play-in game against Miami. Then the remaining games will be Friday the 11th against the Wizards and at the Sixers on Sunday the 13th. And I mean, those are two winnable games. So if they can beat Miami in that one, if they did beat Miami in that game, then I think you look at that as being two games that they can easily, hopefully, be able to win and catapult, and maybe even be able to host a playoff game at the United Center against a Heat team that, I mean, they've rebounded. Remember they lost a bunch of games and they won a bunch of games in a row. They even beat the Celtics, so should be interesting to see. But right now, the Chicago Bulls team is going to be playing somewhat playoff basketball. Can they get out of the play-in? We'll find out. And, of course, next week we'll also have a focus on the Bulls to recap their season, and that'll be the last one. We'll have that the day of their play-in game, and then the following week it'll be focused California. So if the Bulls do make a playoff run, we will recap it in a few weeks post my vacation to California and when we focus on California. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully it is still a run. Hopefully they're going to make me talk about them. We'll see how that'll be. So the Blackhawks are done. Bulls will continue. Next week we'll have a focus on them following their season. Should be excited to see where this Bulls team is. The updated standings as well to where they are when this is uploaded on Wednesday. So everyone, that is the Blackhawks, that is the Bulls, that is Wednesday. Of course, Monday, Tuesday was Cubs, Sox. Now, of course, the rest of the week we're gonna look back at the NCAA. We're gonna recap the Final Four tomorrow and the NCAA championship on Friday. We're all this week here from the Cubs corner, and so take a look, enjoy. and continue to focus with us here every Monday through Friday. Comment below your thoughts on the Blackhawks, on the Bulls. Do you think the Bulls have a good shot? Like the video if you like what you hear. And don't forget to subscribe to the Hello Chicago Network YouTube channel every Monday through Friday, 3:12 Central. We are focusing on Chicago sports. I am Ryan Yanishanis from the Hello Chicago Network. We're the focus of Chicago sports.